Hey everybody, it's so good to see you. I just want to commend you for getting through week 5. I know what it's like to complete things. I know how hard it is, even with a Bible study where you start and you get through the first couple days, you might even finish the first week. But you guys have made it all the way through week 5, which tells me that you're going to make it all the way through. And I hope that you really benefited in particular from this week, because we really get to the theological heart. I think we really get to the depth of the gospel message all the way back here in the Old Testament, because we begin to unpack the characteristics of a kinsman redeemer. We know that Boaz was a kinsman redeemer for Ruth and in many ways for Naomi. And remember what those 3 qualities are. Remember, you had to be near of kin, okay? You had to be a close relative. You had to be able to redeem. But you also had to be willing. And that 3rd characteristic is what divided Boaz from the nameless kinsman redeemer. The fact that Boaz was willing is what separated the 2. Because remember, Boaz comes to this other kinsman redeemer and says, listen, you're closer in line. He gives the scenario and the guy goes, great, I'll take it. And then Boaz goes, oh, by the way, did I mention that you also will acquire Ruth the Moabitess? And at that point, listen to what this other kinsman redeemer says. It's verse 6, and he says, then I cannot redeem it because I might endanger my own estate. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it. Why is this kinsman redeemer saying that? He's saying it because he realizes that if he takes Ruth the Moabitess, that could potentially endanger his future. And I realize that it's this 3rd quality of being willing that is so vital to our salvation. If you have your Bibles handy, you can turn over to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 39. This is right before Jesus goes to the cross. Remember, Jesus Christ fulfilled the first quality, which was being near of kin. He came to walk among us. He became flesh and blood. He also fulfilled the 2nd quality. He is able to save. He's the only perfect person, the perfect high priest who would be able to give his life and save us. But here, this is where things could have changed profoundly. Remember, Matthew 26, verse 39, Jesus says, right before he goes to the cross, my Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. Right here, Jesus is saying, I am willing. I am willing to go to the cross. I am willing to redeem. Can you imagine how things would be different if he was like that other kinsman redeemer and said, oh, I can't do it. It's going to endanger my future, my life too much. But no, Jesus Christ, he walked among us, near of kin, able to redeem. He's the perfect high priest and the eternal high priest. And 3rd, right here, willing. So I want you to reflect on that this week. I want you to reflect on the qualities of the kinsman redeemer and how powerful this is. And to think about the fact that God was not only near of kin and able, but he was willing to come and to save you and to save me.